Farmacia, pásale pharmacy, what are you looking for?
Right across the Progreso International Bridge from Texas, the main street of Nuevo Progreso in Mexico rings with sights and sounds, a mix of Spanish and English, people promoting goods and services, and music, drawing people into storefronts. There are pharmacies everywhere, filled with medicine only available with a doctor's visit and a prescription just across the border in the U.S. But some of the pharmacias serve another purpose, providing hope to women seeking abortion care. A grassroots network has arisen for people seeking misoprostol, one of the medications used for medical abortions. It's legal in Mexico for a stomach condition, and therefore available if you know where to look.
Some people don't know exactly what to get and or where to get it, and so that's a huge issue.
It's hard to know exactly how many people cross the border to obtain abortion care in either direction. Until recently, abortion was criminalized in Mexico, driving many women in the border region north for that care. Now there's an opposite problem. Mexico's Supreme Court decriminalized abortion. At the same time, the strictest abortion law in the United States went into effect in Texas.
Mexico did just decriminalize abortion. That doesn't mean it's available here in Mexico, right? There's no clinic in any of the border, or at least down here in the Rio Grande Valley, the border states, there's no clinics available here.
SB 8, the Texas law banning abortion once a heartbeat is detected around 6 weeks or so, has changed everything for abortion advocates. SB 4, an additional law, bans medical abortions after 7 weeks of pregnancy. The laws have exposed systemic fractures in access to abortion.
It's been very frustrating because, you know, there's people who are right past 6 weeks, right? So we had a caller recently who was 6 weeks and a day, and she wasn't able to get her care. Or especially here in the Valley, we have Whole Women's Health, right? But we don't have any local providers, so providers are having to be flown into Texas to perform abortions.
The proximity of the border impacts so many facets of life here on both sides, which impacts the barriers many patients face when trying to get abortion care.
Essentially what SB 8 is doing is it's giving undocumented people two choices. Either you risk deportation or you're forced into parenthood. There's also something that's not talked about a lot is the language barriers. We hear SB 8, we hear it on every media outlet. It's accessible online, social media, great. But how are you going to ask someone that doesn't have access to internet and does not speak English to understand SB 8 when we speak English and we still don't even understand it sometimes?
And the new laws stretch the resources of Frontera Fund and other abortion funds in Texas, who now have to look outside the state.
A lot of the callers we're talking to now, we're having to send out of Texas, and the compounding costs of travel, plus you know, meals and providing money for them to actually get their abortion, it's much more expensive than we're typically, much more money than we're used to spending. So for example, in 2020, we probably sent about 8 people out of state the entire year, and in September alone, we sent 8 people out of state.
It's hard to have hope if you are an abortion advocate in Texas right now. Balancing on the knife edge of constant court cases and political wrangling leaves patients in limbo. But Frontera Fund is open and available to help because the work continues.
We've already been navigating a post-Roe world. Yeah, Roe v. Wade, you know, made abortion legal, made it the law of the land. But we like to say that Roe v. Wade is the floor in the abortion movement. So yeah, abortion's legal, but it's not really if it's not accessible.
Frontera Fund and other Texas abortion funds, we're really experts in trying to navigate systemic barriers to abortion access. And we're very knowledgeable in that we're here to help people in Texas get abortions if they need